Look at that. Yeah. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So that was a big night last night, right? Huh? Yeah, we're doing an hour on abortion. I'm speaking of the Met Gala. At 37 grand per ticket. And security to keep us dirty folk at a distance, masked photographers were still allowed in to make sure the elites didn't get all dressed up for nothing. And what a glorious spectacle of the world's richest and most beautiful people, gallivanting like Clydesdale horses in drag, starving themselves on cigarettes and Diet Coke. The breakfast of supermodels. Fun fact, that's how Mr. Ed's wife died. So let's run through the conformity. There's Katy Perry. She seems to have lost her kooky style and her mask. When they asked her who she was wearing, she said, hefty bag. There's Kendall Jenner. Take a look at this. She ditched her bra, her mask, but also her eyebrows. Talk about plucky.
Huh.
You go, girl. Although I wonder where her eyebrows ended up. Talk about moving up in the world. Thank you. She looks permanently surprised, like she accidentally sat on a poor person. And then look at Cara Delevingne. No shirt, her torso soaked in gold paint. She better be careful or she might end up in William Devane's safe. She looks like a bowling trophy with breasts. Of course, she had no mask either. How else would anyone recognize her? Then there's Hillary in a long, flowing gown. I gotta say, that's quite a train, and not the kind Bill likes. Wait.
He's on fire.
I'm referring to Amtrak. Thank you. Yes. Underrated. And without a mask, you can look at her smile, although it's probably gas. Of course, the poor plebe handling the bottom part of the skirt is masked. So maybe she did have gas. But can you imagine if Melania had a black dude handling her gown? The screams of racism would be louder than the dresses. But I often wonder what Bill doesn't see in her, besides a soul. So there you go. The perfect illustration of how elites expect the rest to behave. It probably wasn't the unwashed masses that coined the term unwashed masses. They enforce the rules for others, but not for them. With or without the masks, we can see who they really are deep down at events like this, strutting around like butter wouldn't melt in their lying mouths. Who knew a couple hundred years ago our ruling class would end up emulating the very a-holes we threw off our backs so we could be free in the first place? The masked and unmasked, master and servant. It's not about race or gender, it's about power. The theme of the gala was gilded glamour, but it should have been the Victorian era, contrasting excess with servitude. And masks are definitely the new whitehead caps worn by old maids. And it appears to have gone to a lot of their heads.
Oh my goodness, our cup runneth over. Look at this feast, huh? You know, it's so nice for Kat to take us out to lunch. But I gotta say, ever since she got back from the White House Correspondents' Dinner, she's been acting different.
What am I looking at here?
Oh, we only have the one Cheez-It.
No, not that, but where are your masks? You're not famous like I am, so you need to cover those unrecognizable faces. I'm not even hungry. Gotta go to the vomitorium to work up an appetite. Plebes? Take me there.
Good job.
If only she were acting. But if we learned anything from the pandemic, those in power could make you lock down while being free as a mugger in Manhattan. Speaking of, facing an explosion in violent murderous crime, This is what New York's mayor, Eric Adams, wears. It's like Liberace joined the Crips. Pretty good. That's
You're on fire tonight.
Yes, that's a fashion statement. A tuxedo jacket that screams end gun violence. I mean, he knows he's the mayor, right? That's his job. Rumor has it he bought it at a Bill de Blasio yard sale. Well, this will stop crime for sure. I'm sure gangs, thugs, and criminals were all tuning into the Met Gala because they have a deep interest in embroidery. But look, it's easier to wear a shirt with a slogan on it than to actually write and pass legislation that will help the average Joe. You'd think they'd want masks to hide the smug look on their faces. But if this works, imagine how we could solve other problems. Rather than wielding hoses, firemen could just wear jackets that say, "Don't play with matches." The worst part, the mayor's maskless while still forcing mask mandates on kids. It's true, masks are no longer required at sporting events or at galas where the rich hang, but brats still must wear them at school. He dropped his vaccine mandate for athletes, so now you have a choice. Get the jab or play for the Knicks. The mayor also got a fresh pedicure because nothing says you're for the working class more than someone getting paid $7 an hour kneeling at your feet to remove your toe jam. Look, I get it. Rich, powerful people need to have fun, even when the people who voted for them aren't. That's why every now and then Dick Cheney shoots someone in the face. Sky-high inflation, food shortages, rampant crime. We all need a break from that, including the very people causing it. Even Nero took time off to fiddle. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's so chipper, she eats wood and turns it into sawdust. Outnumbered co-host Emily Cabano. The only thing more magnetic than his personality are his legs. Retired U.S. Marine Corps bomb technician and Fox News contributor, Johnny Joey Joe. She's like a car's tailpipe. Exhausting. Fox News contributor, Cat Tim. And when he raises the roof, Allstate has to cover it. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Television Champion, Tyrus. Emily, do you think it was a good idea for the mayor to be there?
I think he could have attended in a better way than he did. And here's what I mean by that. So this was a mayor who came in, who was a former police officer,
Right.
who sort of promised us or acknowledged the fact that all of these issues have a lot of complex variables, right? He wasn't this sloganeering leftist coming in, end gun violence, right? He said, I'm actually going to refund the police. I'm going to restore the plainclothes unit. And yes, I'm also going to try to find some common sense approaches to restore safety on the street and also answer to like both ends of the spectrum. So for him to show up with just that slogan on his back, it sort of reduced him to that oversimplified, I think, progressive left that he was supposed to not be a part of. It's sort of disappointing. And
What would you wear if you went to the gala?
Something amazing.
Yes.
I'd wear a bra, too, by the way. And I also feel like Hillary Clinton, no offense, but she looked just like Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast, which isn't, it's not, I'm not trying to be mean because I loved that character, but right, she looked like Mrs. Potts.
Well,
Mrs. Potts.
at least you didn't say the Beast.
No.
So that's a step up,
Yeah,
right?
some of us have that locked down.
The Beast is handsome.
I'm always compared to that weird-looking guy.
The candlestick guy that hits on everybody?
Yes, exactly.
Lumiere.
I don't know. Joey, how are you?
I'm good. You know what? I too would wear a bra if I went to the Met Gala. I'm bench pressing about 400 now. It's probably necessary. On top of that, I also got a pedicure to come here. I was going to, but I couldn't find a belt sander and mineral spirits to get it done. So.
You know, what part of the brain does this type of event feed? It's like the Oscars are going away, but somehow people who consider themselves edgy and wealthy and beautiful and individualistic, they still need to come together. They still need the spotlight. They still need to feel important. What is that? You don't seem to have that.
I don't have that. That's why I wear my sleeves as high and tight as I can before I come on. No, listen, I work in TV, man. I got hubris like everybody else. But at the end of the day, people at home don't care about this. I don't think they get outraged by it either. I think they literally just don't care. I mean, when I saw Hillary Clinton, I thought about like the Hunger Games. Have you seen those movies?
Yes.
I just was hoping that when she spun around, her dress would catch on fire. You know? But it didn't happen that way.
Tyrus, what do you make of the unmasked dichotomy?
It's
Great job, Greg.
Thank you.
he tried to confuse me with dichotomy. I knew what it meant. I did know what it meant. Speaking of dichotomy, I was using another word. I was thinking more like why go to work, wear a mask? I'm not wearing a mask, and these are the same people that are virtue signaling. And you said it perfectly. You're on fire tonight.
Oh, thank you.
I particularly like the Crip thing. That was pretty good. But that aside, here's where the mayor is messing up. See, the brother, obviously he's envious. He wants to be in the in crowd. Yeah. And that's not how you get to be in the in crowd when you're mayor. You have to go back to 9/11 mayor. I hate even saying his name now because I think of the new Borat mayor, but Giuliani, when he was the mayor, he became famous on everybody's TV show because of the work he did. Yeah. Because he was in there. If that mayor would have been, I'm not going to Gallup because I have work to do in the streets, people get behind that. It takes more than a sign on your back. It takes action and dirt under your nails to get to the point where everyone's like, that's you become America's mayor. Not because you made appearances like that, because you showed up and you did the work. Putting a sign in your back that everyone's confused of, talking about end gun violence, what you said is his job. So he lost me that night. I know he's now just a guy who wants to be famous. Yep. Being a former policeman, yeah, he is a former policeman, because if he was still a policeman, he wouldn't have been there. He'd been in the streets.
Excellent point.
Heck yeah.
Cat?
Clap, clap, clap. That's right, man.
What even is the Met Gala? Would you have any interest in going? Not with me, but just going.
Thanks for clarifying.
That was for HR. You never know. She could go to HR and go, he asked me out on television.
HR does not watch this show.
That's true. If they were watching, this show would not exist.
It would not exist. Yeah. So the Met Gala is kind of like New Year's Eve in Times Square to me, where it's really hyped up, but I don't know if it's that fun, and I don't know how any of these people pee.
Right.
Like all those dresses, like they have to come with a catheter.
No, that's
There's
true.
no way.
That's a great idea.
I got a whole box.
If I did, I would definitely have a catheter and a bra, which I never need but always wear because it makes me feel grown up.
Kat, I see a marketing product for the partier, Kat Timp, catheter, but it's spelled with a K.
Oh.
Yes.
And
That's a great idea.
I can already see the infomercial. It's you're at a club and it's packed. You're going, I can't go.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of your friends, and you go, have a cat.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that? Cat.
I can't wait for my I can't wait for my branded line of catheters to outsell all of your books combined.
Yes. All right, before we go, if you haven't noticed, we're in a brand new studio, and our audience is also back. And free tickets are now available. Go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld for your tickets right now. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.